Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's Claudia Monacelli again, and I have another episode. Today, I'm going to interview Benjamin Bernstein. Benjamin, say hello to our audience.
Hello, audience.
Benjamin's talking to us from North Carolina. We were just talking about the weather. He said it's getting a little warmer, almost like spring. So let's hope that we have spring coming around all over the world. Well, now, who is Benjamin? He calls himself AstroShaman. Is that a nickname that you've adopted, or is that a, business name, AstroShaman?
Yeah, it's just the business name. I personally just go by Benjamin.
Oh, Benjamin. Okay. He wrote the Amazon #1 best-selling book called Instant Divine Assistance, Your Complete Guide to Fast and Easy Spiritual Awakening, Healing, and More. And this is an interesting title because I've mentioned it before. When I interact with guests, future guests, either we converse or we write to each other, and I usually ask them what they would like to talk about. And one of the topics that he wrote was spiritual awakening in 10 seconds with a question mark. And I thought, wonder if that's a provocation. So I'm seeing the title here, Instant Divine Assistance, Your Complete Guide to Fast and Easy Spiritual. We'll get to that. Anyway, he hosts 2 podcasts. One is called Awaken, Heal, and Thrive, and the award-winning podcast called This Week in Astrology. He runs the Awakening Plus online membership, which helps its members awaken, heal, and thrive. In a 3-time Best Astrologer women, he's also a 3-time Best Astrologer winner in Western North Carolina's premier reading survey. Wow, hats off to you. And he has a list of other things, but one I wanted to add here is that Benjamin has presented at 5 national astrology events and wrote the Shamanic Astrology chapter in the book Transpersonal Astrology Exploration, at the Frontier. His main work is he describes as facilitating life-transforming healings and spiritual awakenings in his individual and group sessions. And he's devoted himself to over 45 years of spiritual practice. Of course, in the description of the episode and eventually the video, I will include his social media, his website, and anything that will help you, his websites, anything that will help you get in touch with him if you need be. So let's see. Let me get my hands dirty right away. Benjamin, now, we have an international audience from many different cultures around the world, and I like to get to the brass tacks by defining maybe concepts for you that will be very simple. When we talk about a shaman or a shamanic journey, what is that exactly?
There are many different definitions.
Right.
The one I use is a shaman is someone who intervenes with the divine forces on behalf of people and things here on Earth.
Okay. So now, can we distinguish that from a light worker on Earth?
There's so much crossover, honestly.
Okay. So let's say what does that word, what does that word shaman originate from?
Originally, it's from Siberia.
Okay.
And the indigenous practitioners, the healers there, were called shamans. And since then, the word shaman has become more generically used to describe an indigenous healer of any culture, and is now getting beyond that because I'm a white guy. And not
he's very white. I'll confirm that, ladies and gents.
So now we've gone beyond indigenous. Anyone who has the ability to shamanize can be called a shaman. Yeah,
I like that verb, shamanize. Now, well, what's a nice boy like you doing in a place like this? What got you into that?
It's been a fascinating journey. I'll try to thumbnail it for you.
Yeah, sure.
I was actually pretty much an atheist till I was 17.
Okay.
and had a spontaneous partial out-of-body experience I could not explain logically.
When was that? At
When I was
17?
17 years old.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And when
And
did it happen on its own accord, or was it the result of something that you took or did? Or
I was laying in bed listening to the song "Supper's Ready" by Genesis. That
interesting.
happens to be based on the Book of Revelation, so maybe that has something.
Interesting.
But no, I was, for a couple of minutes, I was all tilty, and I thought, what is going on here?
Yeah.
And that got me spiritually curious, and I've been spiritually, diving in ever since. And I quickly became interested in enlightenment and spiritual awakening, and pursued that for 25 years before it finally showed up.
Oh, so you're a liar. It wasn't 10 seconds. You're talking about an awakening
No, I have since found a much more efficient way to do it than
well, I'll be curious. Who knows if he's going to give us some tips or tricks, or let's see. Okay, so now your books. When was this book that I just mentioned, Instant Divine Assistance? When was that published? Do you remember?
Just October of 2022. So it's only been out about 4 months as we speak.
Okay, so it's been out very, very little. And your 2 podcasts, how long have they been around?
This Week in Astrology started in 2005. I've done over 600 episodes of that one.
2005. Is it a weekly podcast?
It's been different. Like right now, I'm putting it out twice a month.
Okay. That's a nice. That's nice timing. Twice a month.
Yeah. But the one I'm really excited about is Awaken, Heal, and Thrive, the new one that launched the same week as the book.
Oh, why are you excited about? What is so exciting for you about that?
Well, astrology feels more like my day job now.
Yeah.
What I'm really excited about is these invocations that are in my book. I want to help people heal and awaken way faster than they thought was possible.
Okay, so you mentioned these invocations. Now, I skipped over a lot of things that I read, and all right. There's a line here that I'd like to read, because you just mentioned that his greatest joy is helping others with his free, instant divine assistance invocations. These simple yet potent techniques make spiritual awakening, healing, and more fast. Oh wait, there's an and too much of an and. Spiritual awakening, healing, much more faster and easy. Let's say that you have put these in a marketable form. And I don't mean that in a derogatory manner. I'm meaning that you've taken the spiritual and you've putting it into the practical.
Yes.
So it is we can say that invocations are also prayers. They can be called that. Now, what is it about your invocations that are so special?
Okay, they're a little bit unique. I've searched high and low and haven't found anyone who's doing it quite like this. Let me just briefly tell you, these came to me in the middle of an ayahuasca ceremony.
Okay, now we're getting to it. What did he take?
So the origin is
can you tell us what an ayahuasca ceremony is, so we can fully appreciate it?
Sure. Ayahuasca is a very potent mind-altering medicine. Ideally done in a shamanic ceremony with an experienced, qualified practitioner who's leading the group.
Yeah.
And I've done this for 16 years plus. I've done about 300 ceremonies of ayahuasca and other plant spirit teachers. But this was like right at the beginning of 2011. I was in ceremony, and out of nowhere, these things just popped into my head.
Okay. And they popped into your head in the form of words, concepts that then you interpreted, or were they exactly words?
They were words. And I've since simplified them a bit so they're even easier to do. But basically, the principle is you call on your own higher self.
Right.
To do your healing and awakening for you. You delegate.
Right. So let's get right now. We're going to scratch a little under the surface. When you say you call on your higher self, can you tell us exactly what that is? What is the higher self?
Well, my understanding is the human part of you is not all of you. You have many other spiritual aspects that you may or may not be aware of yet.
Yeah.
Okay. The next level up from your human self is what's called the higher self. Some people call it the soul. And
a lot of people interchange Those two words. Yeah.
So it's the part that created your human self. It spent a lot of time planning out the lifetime. And then at the right moment, it took a part of itself, animated the human body. And as long as that divine spark is there, the human body will operate. When the spark leaves, the body drops over and dies.
Okay. So from what you've said, I deduce, I don't know if it's right or not, that you are capable also of automatic writing, if you put your mind to it ever. Automatic writing, you want me to distinguish that for you? Automatic writing, because you mentioned the invocations came to you at an ayahuasca ceremony. Automatic writing is when the words on the page come to you from spirit.
Correct.
That guides you in writing a message that they deem to be necessary or of use to shifting consciousness on earth. I'm simplifying, but am I right in deducing that you're capable of that?
I do not usually do that. I do often channel information verbally, and whether it's writing or verbal, it's all from the same source.
Right. Okay.
Although automatic writing is not at all central to what I do.
Okay. All right. So we have this day job, right? We've got this astrologer day job. And do you qualify this astrology? Did you call it Vedic? No, I don't think you've called it.
No, it's Western.
Western astrology. Okay. And how many years have you been doing that? If you don't mind.
I've been a professional astrologer since 2005. Yeah.
Interesting. I always tell colleagues of mine, colleagues like yourself, I get a headache when I think about astrology. But I say the same about yoga. It makes me, I get nauseous when I think of yoga because I'm a long distance runner. I can't. The astrology gives me literally a headache. I don't know why that is. I do it different things now. So obviously there is. And I don't want to go back to the idea of a market, but obviously your podcast called Shamanic Astrology, that was the qualifier, Shamanic Astrology, was popular, and it has been going on for such a long time. It is your day job after all. But when you start to get your hands into things that you like, it's something different. Now it's healing. Am I right? I mean, your how can I say, your podcast, your new podcast that was launched with your book is a new baby for you. And can you give us a typical episode there? Do you have guests there?
Of Awaken, Heal, and Thrive, the new podcast.
Yeah. All right. Right.
Right. It has a variety of things. I cycle through a number of things. Sometimes it's just me talking about something. I do every 4 or 5 episodes have a guest. But mostly it's me talking about topics that will help people, awaken, heal, or thrive, with a special emphasis on awakening and healing most of the time.
Right.
Sometimes I'll tell stories about my ayahuasca and other plant spirit experiences. In any event, I always want the episode to be both entertaining and helpful to whoever's listening to it.
Okay. So let me go back to this idea of in 10 seconds, spiritual awakening in 10 seconds, but overlapping that with, it looks like it's on the other end of the spectrum, endless awakening. So here we have spiritual awakening in 10 seconds. And if you get that, the pot at the other end of the rainbow is endless awakening. How do those coincide in some way? I mean, let's start with, I guess, the 10 seconds with a question mark.
Let me just tell how people would actually do that.
Okay.
They would say the following 8 words to their higher self. The 8 words are maximum embodied awakening that serves highest good, please. If they will say those words, and if they will then become completely passive and simply either, if they feel energy moving in their body after that, just feel the energy moving on its own. If they don't feel that, if they'll just feel their breath come and go passively, either way is fine. And if they will stay truly passive, then their higher self will come in as much as they are ready for it.
Okay, so the key word is truly passive. That's a trick word, that passivity. It's maybe you want to define that a little better. Describe.
Just means don't do anything. It just means don't do anything.
Well, not doing anything is not enough. It's about the thinking process, isn't it, as well?
Well, you don't think.
Right. Okay.
Let me be clear on that. Again,
okay.
All you do after you invoke is you either just feel energy moving if you feel it. And if you don't feel that, you simply feel your breath coming and going on its own with no breath control.
Okay.
That is it. That's all you do.
All right. So can awakening really be this easy?
Yes.
Right, that was another. Okay. Yes. And the answer definitely
And I say that with such confidence because this has worked for literally thousands of people.
Yeah.
The reviews on Amazon for the book, people keep writing and say, "Oh my God, I've never met the guy. I just did the book technique, and oh my God, I just had the most powerful awakening of my life."
Good.
So
good.
So
no ayahuasca. no.
Nothing has to be ingested. It's almost like you get some of the benefit of ayahuasca just through the invocations.
Right. Yeah. And so then we come to this endless awakening. So if you have spiritual awakening in 10 seconds, what is the endless? Why the endless? Is it?
Well, there's no bottom to it. My current belief is that there is no final awakening.
Okay. So it's a lifelong process.
Right. As an example, when I had my permanent awakening in 2012,
what do you mean by permanent awakening?
That means it was still there the next morning and has never gone away since.
Okay.
Yeah. But it was so ecstatic. I was wondering, have I hit the ultimate right here? Because it was a bliss beyond anything I could have conceived. And yet I then had more awakenings every so often, and each one is even more magnificent. Okay. And what I've learned, the critical distinction is a level of consciousness cannot comprehend a level beyond itself or even imagine what's next. And however awake I may have been, what I've learned and come to expect is there's an even more amazing one waiting that I can't even imagine. But once it gets there, I will experience it and know it.
Yeah. That's what's so wonderful about the process and the road, that's what's so exciting. And it's unfortunate that we have to contend with this third dimension that's at times very heavy and burdensome. And we lose sight of that excitement, that's too bad. So let's say if you had to say one thing to our audience, leave them with something that could benefit them, what would you say?
I'd say try that embodied awakening invocation.
Well, can you repeat it for them then?
Yeah. Maximum embodied awakening that serves highest good, please.
Okay. All right. Well,
thank you. And just relax and just let their higher self do it for them. And I'll just add, there's actually two fundamental invocations in the system. The other one's for healing. And all a person has to do, if they feel anything uncomfortable in themselves, whether it's physical or emotional or both, if they will then just say to the higher self, maximum healing that serves highest good, please, and then simply gently hold attention where the discomfort is, their higher self will go to that spot, stir it up, and flush out the offending energy as much as it can.
Well, thank you so much for this, Benjamin, and for coming on and spending time with us and taking time away from your busy life. I really appreciate it. I hope to have you back. Maybe when another book comes out. How's that? How about if we leave ourselves with that?
Okay.
Okay. Bye-bye, Benjamin.
Bye.